Hi everyone, it's Rachel, and today I want to show you how to do tattoo-inspired artwork using the Color Therapy app. When coloring an image in a tattoo style, you'll want to focus on a few key characteristics. They include bold black outlines, high contrast areas, vibrant colors, and a limited color palette. Let's get started. So if you want to follow along with the same image I'm using, just go into the Classic tab and then select Free, and then just scroll down until you find it. Okay, so to get started, I recommend choosing a reference that you like. So for example, this is what I'm going to use for the colors and just to see how the shadows should look and the highlights and things like that. So that's mine. All right, so let's go ahead and choose our colors from the color palette. So open it up. Just going to choose a basic black and a white. That is a solid. Open it back up, and under the basic palette, choose glow and choose a solid pink, the very last pink. And then under shades, go to deep blue and choose a solid dark blue and then also a light blue. And then I want to choose sort of a medium yellow. So under shades, go over to the yellow palette, and I'm just going to choose like a nice yellow there. And then under basic, go under the first dark shades palette and choose gradient and select the black to burgundy gradient. And let's just choose one more color. So under the palette, scroll over to vintage and keep it as gradient. I'm going to choose sort of a bluish green to a yellowish beige gradient there. Okay, so now we're ready to begin starting to tap to fill in the color. So that's our first step. So what I'm going to do now is just choose that dark blue, and I'll just tap to fill that in to the face, and then I'll use the light blue to tap to fill in the fur. And then I'll use that burgundy gradient, and I'll set it from dark to light from the top to the bottom, and then just tap to fill in the feathers here. And the rest of the thing, you can just really tap to fill in the colors how you like. I like to just sort of balance them out. So it doesn't really matter as much where you place the colors, just as long as there's a lot of contrast from one color to the next. So I'm going to do the eyes yellow, along with the little earring, and then this area right here too. So my goal is really just to get everything to pop out. Then I'll use pink around here in these little detail areas and in the nose. And I'll use that greenish gray gradient, just tap to fill it in from dark to light into the ears and little feathers there. And then I'll use black to fill in a few other areas, so under the eyes and on the nose. Just trying to create as much contrast as possible. Okay, so after you're satisfied with tapping to fill in all the colors the way you like, it's time to do the details. So the first thing we'll do is select that bright pink we have, go into the manual mode, and select airbrush. I'm going to lower the opacity to 50 and raise the size to around 70%. And we're just going to create a really soft glow behind our picture, so it makes it look like it was drawn with either watercolors or markers. And you want to make sure coloring inside the lines mode is set to on. So just a little bit here and there in the corners. We just want to add a little bit of a pink glow. This is just a stylistic addition. Okay, so the best way to make this look like it's actually a hand-drawn tattoo style art piece compared to a digital painting is to open up the manual mode, and you want to use the pencil tool. So select pencil, leave the opacity at 50 and raise the size to 100. So zoom into the image there, and coloring inside the lines mode is still set to on. I'm just going to start to add in some details on the nose going upward. Just going to highlight those eyebrows. So I'm using my finger here. You can use an Apple pencil if you would like for details. You can do the same thing with your finger too. So I'm just going to bring those details over here down the side of the wolf's face. So you can see how now the texture is starting to show. Okay, now I want to lower the size to about 25%. And I'll raise the opacity to 75. And then using white, I'm going to outline those eyebrows just below that line. Then I'll just bring that all the way down along that side of the light blue area. So now this is really just creating a lot of contrast. So we have the light blue going into the white, and then that goes into the dark blue. So that's kind of the idea that you want to do and apply to the whole drawing. So I'm going to also add black just above that, just further creating more contrast. So what you want to do is just continue that same technique throughout the rest of the painting. Use the whites as highlights and black as the shadows, and remember to raise the size where it's needed in large areas and lower it for details. Just remember that contrast is key, so make all of those black lines very bold with your finger or the Apple pencil with black. And then for detail areas such as right here, you can add a really harsh white line, just like that. And then also just on the one part of the black area there. And that also looks really good too. Here's the finished painting with the lines removed and with the canvas painting effect added. You can apply these same steps and techniques to any other kind of drawing to make it look like a tattoo style piece. If you'd like to see more tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe to the Color Therapy YouTube channel so you don't miss any new tutorial videos. Thanks for watching our tutorial. You can get the Color Therapy app for free on the App Store.